Hey, Moss on a Rock. I am working on the custom arrows for these custom bows. So they've all got their own sprites. Obviously, like this one needs to shoot, or I would like it to shoot, I should say, a fire arrow. So that is what we're setting up with the data pack functions. So essentially one command to run particles and then one command to actually run the effect for the arrow. I like the music. So the first step is to make sure that when we shoot the arrow, it gets tagged, which hopefully these are all set up correctly. I can just put them in a folder. We'll just call it arrow effects. And then those two. And all of these. I can go into the main folder. We just have to set it up. One's off of the player, and then one's off of entities. For these two, I need to link up. Oh, that was the wrong thing to click. So this one is identifying the player. Where am I putting it? This doesn't really matter. So seasons, the folder is arrow effects. Or did I add an S to it? I always forget when I make something plural. I did. And it's tick underscore. Oh, that's so long. Cool. So that's that one, and then the other one. Of this though, we need the other selector criteria. Which actually means I can get rid of it in the actual function. It should just be that. Well, I mean, it doesn't hurt to check it twice, I suppose. I don't know what the effect on lag is in that scenario. And then I just need that one. Error effects. Okay, let's see if I've done the trick. So if we reload the world, I should be able to shoot an arrow, and it should have the correct tags now, according to which bow. So for instance, if we shoot this one, we go tag, E, arrow. No tags. Not what we want to see. So next we have to check the functions, make sure they work. So it's Runechant, arrow effects. Okay, so they're both there, so that's working. Why is it not doing the arrow? That's the question. So it should be this string. And the easiest thing to do is just test the function, make sure it works. If we grab out a command block, do that. We just do say hi. Right. Go to a bow. No, okay, so it's this. Oh, well, actually, because that's us at the moment. Could be working now, yeah. Okay, so that's working. Then runs into the main hand function. Right. So we have the golden bow. Try this again. Make sure it works. Change the first one to us. Always active. Okay, so it doesn't like this one. Why doesn't it like this one? Execute as at all. Oh, right, because I don't have the bow. There we go. So as long as we have the bow, so that's working. So far this string is fine. They should technically be working. Right, and then that goes into range golden. Right, no, execute as S, then 8. No, that's fine. Arrow within 2 blocks. With the right tags. We will just do this. Then there, change this to as us. And if we shoot a bow, slash turn it on. Right, and get the tag again. Oh, that is so awesome. The history thing. Right, because we've exited the world and come back. It still has all my commands. Anyway, off topic. What does the Runechant ability effects in the Ancient and Celestial do? Nothing yet. I can show what the weapons do in terms of melee, because I've done them. But I haven't done the bows just yet. So, Celestial, right, if we'll do shifting, because that's nice and easy. Shovel and shovel. So this one's the Celestial. Right, so if we shift, there's a nice little starry ground pound. And then the Ancient one does some darkness stuff. And if we have some husks nearby. Right, so the Ancient one chomps them. And then the Celestial one rains down some stars on them. And essentially the bows will do something similar. Did copy them, right? Yes, thank God. That is... It just doesn't like capsule. Ah. I actually can't touch type. I do have to look at my keyboard when I type. It's very annoying. I should learn. Okay, but why is this not working? So we're executing at the player, right? Then we're searching for an arrow, going nearest, and then tagging it with the affinity. Anytime we shoot an arrow, it should work. And it does. It was just scanning the other arrow. Yeah, I'm doing all the art and everything else, right? Show you some of the other artwork. Does mean it's taken a little longer than what I'd like. But hey, it's worth it. Fun doing all the different aspects. There's actually more tabs too. There's some new potions. There's some runes. Bunch of fun stuff. Okay, so the arrows are working. Just don't know why the... Actually, no, maybe. I think I do know why it's not working. In terms of the data pack. I think the arrow one is the issue, because it's not linking to anything yet, so it doesn't exist. It's right at the top, it's A. Right, because I haven't actually built any of these functions. I suppose that is what we should do. Slash, I don't think these are calling to the right areas. No, they don't run functions. All runs run functions. That runs a function. There we go. Is part of our issue. Glad you like it. Arrow, no, not capitals. Arrow underscore effects. Perfect. And this one. Let's see if it's working now. Shoot the arrow. Oh, that's still from you though. I don't think it is working. No. That's just the effect, so we don't have to worry about that one just yet. This is the line we want. We have the bow in our main hand. And runs the main hand effects. These are doing execute as, but not at. Alright, that's might be somewhat of the issue. Add it in just in case. And that goes to main hand. Execute as, at, that's fine. And that goes into the, more folders, that's the issue. Arrows. No, it's not arrows, it's arrow. Right. This should do the trick, I'd assume. The folder concept is new. I wasn't working with folders before. I had them all in one place. Very unorganized. But so I've forgotten to add a bunch of stuff. Offhand, main hand. It's all of them right. Arrows, maybe? Yeah, these two. Why am I doing it like this? It's too late now. There's the replace function. Okay, fingers crossed we get working. Oh, I need a new arrow. Yeah, there we go. Right, because now this makes it nice and easy. So all we have to do is set up the commands to find those arrows. So for instance, if we were to do execute at the tag equals what is it? Affinity arrow golden. Affinity arrow golden. Run particle item. Right, no, we'll do raw gold to start off. 0.1 10. I don't know. This might be too much. Right, but now it should shoot. Yeah, golden arrows. Perfect. Now we just have to set up those functions. Yes, they are. Including the base trims, right? There's ribcage with some... okay. We're going down the rabbit hole. So they're the normal in-game ones, right? These are all the ones I've added. So you can now use a blaze rod to trim something. So for instance, a bow. We'll go with a bow. Since we already saw that. And give me a template. Any will do. Da-da-da. Oh. Ta-da! Right. And then, of course, these special ones, which they have the affinity tag, have special abilities. This is just a stat stick, essentially. See how it says attack damage, attack speed, and health? Then these ones are the ones with actual special abilities. But yeah, all using the attribute system. So it's nice and fun, and that way I can pull the custom models nice and easy. Different trim. Okay, but now we have a lot of files to set up. We have to go that way. We have to now do all the arrows. So we need, I think there's 12 affinities. So we need the particles, and then we need the normal ones. And we have all our special arrows done, and I can move on to the next thing. We'll go back into work in progress so I can copy. Template. What am I calling them? Get rid of that for now. We'll set up the command. Oh, I need to copy it. Yeah, a lot of love has gone into this data pack. I mean, there's other stuff too. These are all multi-block structures, by the way. Right, what? Do I have anything on access for... I don't think I... Oh, maybe. Take a smithing template. Take an etched diamond. Can't remember if this is the correct recipe. What am I doing? I literally have it in the advancements. Rename diamond, no. Combine etched diamond, netherite upgrade, a stack of world fragments. That's one missing. Which ones? What did I throw in there? We went shield and netherite. For the shield, we can use minerals or red. Red will do. Right, so if we throw that in, that I could hit. Needs to be higher. I need to put slabs down. There we go. Perfect. And then you can take this template, grab out shield. And I think shields, which block are shields? I think they're the middle ones. Throw that on, throw that on. I'm gonna assume that's not the right slot then. Or I broke it. I was tinkering with some stuff. It's actually good, because I need to also test that. I get sidetracked a lot too. Mind me. The tinkering. Did I change these correctly? I don't think I did. At S, at E. I kind of did. Though this looks like a lot of work. What's the shield one? Armor, shield. Polish basalt, so that is right block. And we have... Not defensive, we have offensive. Execute, at S, it's fine. Looks for a shield. Modify. Is it specifying what at S is? That goes back to the tick one. At S. No, it should. It should still be working. Nine-hand shield offensive. Unless I don't have this associated to anything. Tick underscore attribute upgrades. It should be in this one. Tinkering. Is that the correct file? Item, function, tinkering. Yes. So it shouldn't be broken. Maybe I just didn't wait long enough. If we just pull the functions separately. No. Curious. Looking for an item, that's fine. It should be running as both items, but I think I need to be more specific with it. It's kind of annoying. I took like a week to rework everything, try and clean it up, and it has broken things. Copy this. We have to delete a bunch of it. We just want the netherite scrap, the count. Don't want the model data. We want the display. We don't want the lore. Okay. Execute as, or you know what? Always make sure all the functions are there. There's no typos. Runechant, tinkering. Yeah, no, the tick is there. Good. And the right scrap. Tinker's template. Make sure it's named correctly too, I suppose. Yeah, Tinker's template. Shield. That runs ticker attribute upgrades. Looking for a timer, that's fine. I mean, the crafting works and they use the same template. Execute as that's fine. Polish basalt. Any other item that goes into duh. Another case of I forgot the folders. Of course I have. Oh, it's the simplest things. I think it's tinkering. Correct? Correct. I have the folder here, don't I? Yes. Alright. Good. Obviously, you have to make sure everything's working. Does it instantly now. Now we have an upgraded shield. So there are a bunch of these templates you can make. Right. There's weapons, range, armor, and shields. And a neat little telescope that now tells you your stats. Right, so arm total, toughness, movement speed. So for instance, if we sprint and look, 130. You know that? Sprinting gives you a 30% speed boost. Fun. Anyway. Enough sidetrack. Arrows. This should have the nether affinity. Just check that they're all working. Perfect. Yeah, I have the data pack series, but my intention is to finish it, and I know there's a few people who would like me to start a server with it, so I'll look into that, but then I also want to do a Let's Play. I mean, the whole intent and purposes was, yeah, for me to turn Minecraft into an RPG for me to play, and now this is like a year and a half into it, and still no progress. I did restart it once, which was sort of what took it so long. I initially had it as just commands, because I wasn't fully aware of how to use data packs properly, right? So I built it all as commands, lots and lots of commands. And now I'm slowly rebuilding it as a data pack. That way it's more accessible, more people can play it. But I keep thinking of different stuff to add, so it keeps getting very, very prolonged. Okay, the particles. Actually, I think the 10 was perfect, right? Ooh, like this looks decent as a golden arrow. And if I change it to, say, fire, it'll look decent as a fire arrow. Oh, flame. Yeah, more or less. For that, it might be too much. Either way, means that the command basis is fine. We do that, paste it over, get rid of the golden for now, and then we just replicate it 12 times. And that'll be the particle aspect done. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I remember all of the different affinities off by heart. We have Ancient. We have Celestial. And there's Enchanted. We skipped Deep Dark. I know there's Ender. And of course Golden. G makes me reminded of Glacial. Yes, command blocks are very laggy, which I learnt the hard way. That world that I just showed off is pretty much unplayable in actuality. Hence why I need to remake it as a data pack. Oh. Nether. Ocean Overworld. I'm still missing a few. I need to go look at the box. Sky. Sky's actually one. Oh, I'm one off. Overworld, Sky, and Soul. There we go. Actually, another thing that I should probably test. Because I thought I caught everything when I was redoing it. But we should test the items up here. Yes. Also, yeah, there's seasons. Right? The little icon in the middle there. But currently, it's a nice little spring season. Not that one. Double jump. Is that correct? Hopefully that's correct. Give me any item. It'd still work. Maybe it's not broken. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's flying. Yeah, we'll go into survival. You can tell I'm not joking. Ta-da! Although, yeah, you can take a lot more full damage by double jumping. Oh, there we go. Should make parkour fun and interesting. Except if you mistime it. Let's see if we can make it over. Yeah. Fun little item to have. Anyway, it's junk. Bad moss. Keep getting distracted. Nah. That's me, not you. Very scatterbrained. What were we doing? Right, particles. Yes. Yes, indeed. I need to open all of these. Okay, now we work backwards. We have Soul. Sky. Oh, I should double check so I don't mess these up. Overworld. Ocean. Nether. Golden. Glacial. Ooh. Did I do Ender? Yes. I just didn't say it, so I got Enchanted. Not how you spell Enchanted. That is still wrong because it needs a capital. Getting there. I don't need to do this. The arrow one selects based on the... No. Yes? No. Yes. No. That's the wrong folder. Yeah. Yeah. Oh well. I started, I'll finish. Because it automatically selects based on the tag. And if so, is it possible to take full damage when you double jump too low? It does. It puts a barrier block underneath you, and then clears it after you intersect with it enough to jump. Essentially, it's just placed long enough for you to double jump. You still accumulate the fall. I don't think it's long enough to reset the fall. I already tossed it. What was I going to try? What's the minimum height to take full damage? It's 3 blocks, isn't it? Yeah. So theoretically, if we double jump off of 2, so on to no full damage. Yes. Oh, there's the emerald. Perfect. Lucky. If we were to double jump, which one was the full damage? We'll leave this up here. If I jump from here onto this block, full damage. Perfect. It was that one. If I double jump onto this one, still full damage. So, I mean, you can get over bigger gaps, but then you essentially, what is it, 20 blocks or something is the max fall? It's basically just adding one to that. God damn it. Hate the insert key. Okay, question is, what particles will look fine? Squid ink is what I usually use for ancient. Glow is what I use for celestial. Deep dark is the shock pop, I think. Where's the weapons? No, sonic boom for an arrow. Yes, that'll look better. Enchanted is the totem of undying. Ender will be portal. Glacial. Snowflake. Golden. I did sort of like raw gold. But we'll try gold block. I think that's yellower. Nether will be flame, probably small flame. Ocean, bubble pop. Overworld. If you fell for like 5 blocks and then used double jump, would you take full damage from hitting the barrier block itself? That is impossible. So the way I have it set, which was the only way that was feasible. So okay, in that scenario, right, if you're falling and able to double jump at any point, it's continuously placing the barrier block, meaning you're like jittering. And that way you wouldn't take any fall damage whatsoever. So the way the double jump works is you only have a small interval after the first jump to double jump. You can't delay the jump, unfortunately. Which actually does make it a little bit more sort of skill-based, because you have to get the timing very precise. Yeah, so you don't have to worry about that, but at the same time, yeah, you can't delay the jump. There's no feasible way to do that without causing the player to jitter as they fall, because the barrier block has to be placed enough so that they intersect it and can jump. Is it Falling Spore Blossom? It might just be Spore Blossom. Oh, I'm still in survival. But like, yeah. Oh. So as soon as you intersect with the barrier block, it disappears. So if you're over here, place it slightly, and then you fall normally. Like even that, there's a slight jitter when you fall, even off of the one block. I didn't want to have it weird in terms of falling. Like if I were to fall off here. In fact, just falling, there's nothing. If I were to jump off here, right, there's like a delay before you actually fall. Small Blossom Air, there we go. Sky... Electric Spark. I also need to double check. Good. And then Soul will be Soul. Save all. You can be disabled. Fingers crossed. All the arrows now have particles. Gold. That does not look like gold. Fire. That does not look like fire. Because they're in work in progress. Wait. Save all. Exits. Put them into the arrow effects. Just make sure that I did remember the folder again. Perfect. Now, fingers crossed that they have particle effects. Yeah. Bit too much on the fire. Spore's alright. Do like how they're sort of spirally too. Facial. No, that's sky. That one's kind of bad because it blocks you. And it's a bit too wide when they land. What about the gold blocks? No, that was definitely better as raw gold. I also probably need to turn the particles off when they land. So I don't think they can still trigger their effects in the ground. Well, I suppose it's how I set it up. Bubble pop? Is that one fine? Yeah, somewhat. I always forget which water particle is the right one to use. I mean, I could use dolphin or splash probably instead. Let me put the little emerald in the chest. Celestial. Looks fine. I do like the sonic arrows. I think for a lot of them, the particles look fine. That is the same bow. And, Ender needs a lot more. Maybe even the reverse particle, since they shoot off instead of that. Enchanted, last one. Yeah, that one's fine. Okay, tweak them a little bit, and then we can move on to the actual effects. So Squid Ink was fine. Maybe cut it in half. Celestial was fine. Debark, Enchanted. Enchanted actually feels like it might need a little bit more. Ender will swap to reverse. Facial's fine. Golden, raw gold definitely looked a lot better. Either. So you can use tipped arrows, you can use normal arrows, and you can use spectral arrows. I was tempted to make it have to be spectral arrows to give them a better use. I might come up with something a little bit better if you use spectral arrows. Because it does... Well, I mean, they're cool. It feels like spectral arrows could do with a buff. That's not going to use it, is it? I don't even have normal arrows, so it should. It should use a spectral arrow. Yeah, it does. And then you'd at least have to craft them. It would be very, very easy to tweak it. Right now, yeah, you can use any arrows. Crossbows work too, I should say, as well. I just haven't done the art for the crossbows. Well, I've done some. I just haven't done the main ones. But the final goal for ranged in terms of combat would be to have a bow or crossbow in the main hand, and then I want to do something with the dragon head. Because I always liked how it looked pulling a bow with the dragon head, right? As a like gauntlet. Nether, we were going to halve. Ocean was fun. Well, no, ocean. We can try something else. We can try like the splash particle, maybe. The electric sparks were fine. Soul was fine. I think that's fine. Yeah, that thought crossed my mind too. Punching people with a dragon head. The only thing I don't like about having it in the main hand, right, is if you accidentally left click, right click, right, you place it. Oh, you still do that with, but not with a bow. Yeah, not with the bow equipped. I don't know. I'll have to think about it because so if you ever place a block, it loses all the NBT data, including I'm pretty sure the trim stuff. Even if I were to use the trim stuff on it, and I don't want that to happen. We do have a new weapon in the way of fishing rods. They've got two. We've got like a little dagger and shiv. Actually more like a fist weapon. Boom, boom. And you can still hook. And then the affinity ones, so with the special trims, are more like claws. Yeah, there we go. So you've still got the ability to hook something if you want. I can't do in third person. Come on. There we go. Oh, still got him. And then you can punch. I always like that mechanic, being able to claw something, hook something, pull it to you, and then hit. Okay, what ones did we change? Gold we changed, Nether we changed, Water we changed, Overworld was fine, Sky was fine, Ancient we halved, Ender we changed, Soul was fine, Celestial was fine, Sonic was fine. Okay. Yeah, it looks better as raw gold, I think. Maybe even upgrade the particle amount. Maybe go back to 10 for that one. Or try the bigger fire. I don't mind the splash. I feel like the bubble pop is better. That's definitely better, as only 5. Less intrusive. Reverse is nicer. Gives off the particles instead. And then this was just more particles. I think... Enchanted, we go back to 10. Ender was fine now. Golden, we'll try 20. Nether, we'll just do flame instead of small flame. Everyone's fine, Sky's fine, they're all fine. Ocean's the only other one. Still think Bubble Pop is the correct one. Particle, bubble. Yeah, the bubble one, because you can't adjust the speed, is always crappy. Yeah, it's always way too quick. I think we go back to Bubble Pop. Try upping it. Okay, so that one was fine. No, we changed that. Gold, we upgraded. So it now gives off more particles. That's a bit better. Oh, it's a little intrusive with the first shot. Probably notch it back down to 10. This is normal flame now. I think that's a little better. Also, though, a little intrusive. Eh? What do you mean no entities found? There's 3. Do we? Okay. That's curious. They no longer count as arrows? I feel like that's a bug from the new update. I'll just collect them myself. Okay, so we go with the bigger fire for nether, but we reduce the particles even more. Bubble pop. Yeah, I think that's better. Because it's nice and quick, I don't mind it covering the whole screen initially. Alright, these are spectral arrows, that's why. There we go. Already said Ender was fine. We cut this back down, and that's fine. Alright, so it's just nether. Yeah, it looks at 3. I did save it, right? Yes. Yeah, it's a bit better. A bit more tame. I could also slow down the particles so that they stick on the weapon, on the arrow. Although they linger at us now a bit longer. Which is a bit annoying. But I do like that a little bit more. Maybe if we go back to small flame. We can always tweak these later too. Move on to the effects. It's a bit better. Not as intrusive. Ah, I love that in the update. The fact that I can quit the world and still have my last command. So nice. Okay. So that's good for the bows. 12. Well, they're good. On to the actual effects. Although the particles... It's actually one way we should be able to handle it a little bit better. We add to this the same... Well, actually the inverse of what we did to tag. No worries, Moss. Thanks for hanging out. Glad you liked what I'm making. See you around. Where's any of them? Right. So we just do the opposite NBT. As long as it's not on the ground and has left the player's hitbox. That might make it look a bit better. It's definitely what we need for the actual effect too, so it doesn't trigger on the player. Okay, so the particles shouldn't start till after it leaves our hitbox, or not at all apparently. Oh no, it does. Why did the first one not render? Ah, I know why it didn't render. At the start, the particles are a lot worse. It also means a reduced lag because the arrows in the ground should no longer be giving off particles. Hmm. Why are you still giving off particles? Left the owner and it's in the ground. No, it's only giving particles if it's in the ground. Get rid of left owner. We just do this. That should stop it, right, if it's in the ground? Yeah. We shoot it. But now I probably have to up the particles. Or you can just get rid of the left owner clause. And it starts as soon as you shoot the arrow. That's probably a bit nicer. The actual effects, though. Do I want them to be able to still trigger when they're on the ground? No, because if you're going to pick up your arrows, we don't want it to still explode or whatever I do. So this one does need to be left owner and does need to not be in the ground. Right, so that way the effect can't trigger off of the player, off of ourselves when we shoot the arrow. Okay, that looks fine. Now we have to just do the effects. So I still need to tweak the tick lag. Max is a little bit annoying. Probably because of all the entities too. Yeah, that took a chunk out. Okay, on to the actual effects. I will start from scratch. That's fine. I've already forgotten what I meant to name it. Run function, arrow effects. Arrow effects instead of particles. Execute as, at S, at S. Was I doing at S on this one? That's the wrong folder. I was just doing at, I wasn't doing as. Okay, what range do we make them trigger though? That I need to actually check the old world. Compare. Don't worry about the boss. So high up. Side. Oh, this is the right side. Over there. Okay, so the way the arrows were working. Tag them. Particle effect. They play sound when they hit, which is fine. We can do that. Play sound, trigger an effect. Trigger a particle effect too. This one adds a tag. And then it destroys the arrow. That's something we might have to do, is destroy the arrow. Unless I just make it so the arrow can't trigger its effect. Yeah, that should be fine. Oh, but that's the important clause. 1.6. That is the perfect range from previous testing. Execute at S, at S. Do we do as or if? At the arrow, align Y, run execute position, blah blah blah. Copy that. Worked before, it'll work again. Line Y, run execute, positioned. One on the y-axis, for whatever reason. Entity. Ah, no, okay, this is backwards. It's executing as every entity nearby, every mob entity, if the arrow is nearby. Right, so then the one up is because that's their center. Not quite what we want. We need to inverse it. Execute as the arrow, at the arrow, then just as entity. As entity, we don't need. Type equals Runechant all. Let's keep the distance. 1.6. That should be fine. Align Y. And it should be the center of them. Positioned. One. Run. Blah blah blah. Okay, let's see if this works. Is it affinity arrow? Arrow affinity. Affinity arrow. Run, say hi. So it shouldn't trigger off of, it does trigger off of us, that is an issue. Ah, no, because we just add in the NPT. What is it? Left, owner, 1B, in ground, 1B. Still saying hi. Why are you still saying hi? Because we're in 1.6. Right? Try .1. Because we have to retest. Okay, so that's not triggering off of us anymore. That's fine. Question is, does it trigger off of hitting a husk? The big issue with the arrows is them being deleted as soon as they hit an entity. Yeah, so in that case, it's not triggering. That's why we did the 1.6. Question is, triggers off of us, but it still doesn't trigger off the husk. I think we have to give the arrows piercing. That way they don't delete. That way they also still deal their damage and trigger their effect. Line Y, positioned, or is there a way? Executing as the arrow. There's no way for us to do it. Wow, well, there is. I've learnt new tricks. Positioned. 1, 2, 3. Only triggers off of us. Still doesn't trigger off of you though. Just say hi. Please. Execute as the arrow. Right. Position 2 spaces in front of the arrow. Does that work with the arrow though? It should. It should work off of the directional face of the arrow. The distance probably needs to match it though. Right, if we do say 3, now it triggers off of us. The trigger twice, though. No, it still doesn't trigger twice. That time it did. Right. That's why we do the positional. Because for whatever reason, a hitbox registers as the head. Right. Which is so annoying. I think the easier thing to do is just give the arrow piercing. Because I don't want there to be chances where you can't trigger it. How do we do this, though? Weapon effects arrow. Execute as run function. Need to give it a way to give piercing. Use the same clause as the tagging. As long as it's not on the ground, no. As long as it doesn't have piercing. Right, so it doesn't reapply piercing. I need to look up the NBT. Just be pierce level. There we go. As long as the pierce level isn't 1. No, but this is also an issue. If the arrow has greater piercing, it's still gonna run it and then give it piercing. I could tag it with something else to give it piercing. No. Work. And in comes the... Theoretically. How can we give it piercing if it doesn't have piercing? We can't look for just piercing. We're going to override the piercing. Test for all levels of piercing. I don't want to do because that's way too many commands. As we just don't go with the piercing routes. We just fine-tune this until we get to the point where we can consistently trigger the effects. Plus then we also have to make sure it doesn't trigger off of us. Because right now it is triggering off of us. It's not triggering any time off the husk. Not fine. Set the PS level to 1. Run function. Arrows PS. That'll do. Where'd it go? Where's that at E? Ooh, it's wrong. They all at E? Did I do that wrong? I did do them all wrong. They're causing more lag than they should. Execute add S, add S. That is backwards as well. Run data. Modify. Should be the correct command. Save that. Reload the pack. Function, make sure it's there. No, got any typos. Yes, perfect. Make sure it is actually piercing. Yes, it is. And because of that, it's now triggering the effects. Which is good. We just have to make sure it doesn't trigger off of us. Which means we can probably get rid of this section. And reduce the distance. Once you disappear. It's not triggering off of us. It's still not triggering off of them. No, 1.6 was too much, because now it's going to trigger off of us. But it doesn't trigger off of us. Does it trigger off of you? I broke it. How did I break it? Execute at the arrow, run, execute at the... No, there's no tick lag. Run executes as all entities. Line Y. Run say hi. That section is not needed yet. Working before. That's not working at all. Still has both of them. It's fine. F3B is hitboxes. Right. Yeah, the hitbox is passing through. So is PS because it's landing. Good as I go over the at. There we go. That's what's done it. It's the wrong section. But now it triggers off of us. One block. No longer triggers off of us. But no longer triggers off of you. Not 5. No longer triggers off of us. And triggers off of you. Bingo. Sometimes. Still not. Problem is we need the hitbox to be larger on the Y, not all around. As soon as we go to 1.6, it triggers off of us, doesn't it? Yeah. It's not always triggering off of you either, even with the PS. It's annoying. Your hitbox don't make sense. And if we were to make this ridiculous, so 2. Now triggers off of you, fine, but triggers off of us. We want every hit to trigger off of them, but we don't want any hits to trigger off of us. We're already restricting it, so it's left owner. I can try and match the UUID, but that's annoying. I mean, we go back to the positional thing. So it's one block in front. The issue with this is now it's going to hit sooner, I think, as well. We'll get to the point where it triggers before. No, it's still going off of us. It's not going off of you. Execute as at, it says, 1 block in front. Again, it's still assuming that the front of the arrow is still the front. Really need to box you in. And put you somewhere within range of the, that. We can tweak it. Yeah, so now it's functioning off of us, sometimes off of them. None and none. Could go back and I could execute off of the entity. That's going to cause a lot of lag if I run the function. Why does the command hitbox not match the arrow hitbox? Right, technically I shouldn't have to do anything. I should just be able to execute at the arrow without changing the position, and it should work. I do need to set a distance though. But yeah, because the game can detect the hit. The command block should detect the hit. It's not. We align the Y. Is that doing it? Yep. Align all of them. Backwards, but that's fine. Nope. I could summon an invisible armor stand with it. That would work. But I want to. Not on the ground. And it's left us. Right, I have those tags the right way. Yeah, I'm gonna have to mull this over and figure out how to do the hitboxes. I might just do the old way. It works for this map. Then I have to reorganize the functions. That I'm not spamming a bunch of check entities. Anyway, I'm gonna take a break. Goal of this week, I suppose, is that any bit of my spare time, I want to work on this and hopefully make substantial progress, get close to finish and release and then play. Anyway, whoever's hanging around, thank you. And anyone watching post, thank you as well. Hope you enjoyed.